Hello. Now, I think we're going to need to go to the favourite tree whilst we do this. And I'm thinking, hello, welcome, humans. Oh gosh, how do we work out if I've done this properly? Hi Tracy, welcome. Have I done the thing properly so that people can talk? Hello. Forgive me. Well, you don't have to. I apologise for my lateness. I have a good excuse. However, that's irrelevant. Excuses are irrelevant. I'm sorry, I will do better. I think I've put this on VIP only, haven't I? Good Lord, if I have, because this week was supposed to be the last open public one, because then it's just us VIPs and everybody's welcome in our gang, obviously. However, Kirsten, forgive me for doing that again. Is that what I've done? Have I done VIPs only? I'm here, Poppy, says Gone Feral. Good for you, my love. Nice to have you. What do we do? Oh, yay, you can talk. Okay, fine, I've done it right. Ha for me. So, happy Sunday. Thank you, Kirsten. Okay, how are you doing out there? No, it's not VIP. Good, fantastic. So here we go. This is our being together Sunday soul cleanse. And of course I didn't bring the dowser because we're out and it's quite windy. However, now it doesn't seem like it is. We can all douse though, in any way we choose. Who does dowsing here? Pop a 41 if you do. You can douse with your mind. You can douse with anything. I've suited and booted so much that I'm now hot. So look, our special tree. How do I turn the camera thingy around? Don't know. So, and I can't show you because it's following me, isn't it? Good Lord. Well, anyway, it's a phenomenal, great big tree that we're about to sit under. So, what I decided is to be healthy because I can. Anybody want to join my healthy club? Pop a 4 in the chat if you'd like to be healthy. And what I'm talking about is what an absolutely strange run that chap has. I wish I could show you. That's the way to do it. I mean psychologically and physically healthy. Anybody want to be that? Hi, Marcel's here. Hooray. Let's send lots of hearts for Marcel. Thank you for the present. Is that a cookie? Is that a Chinese cookie? Thank you. Right, come on, Poppy. Help. I need to start off. I'm all caught up. Okay. So my excellent plan is this. That we will be together and do some good stuff. Talking about the week. Getting very savvy about our psychology and our attitude and stuff. And then make a personal plan for next week. Who's in? Poppy, yes, me, if you're in. Having said that, what I also said this week is I caught myself. So let's see if you've had a similar experience in your life. Over-giving. Pop a 5 in the chat if you're an overcoming, or maybe not yet, recovering people pleaser or people pleaser. And I think if you say 5 to that, then can we put you in recovery immediately almost? Over-giving. Over-committing, because I've just realised I haven't said who I am. Maybe we don't know each other. I love that name, Henry Nolan. That's such a great name. Poppy Sprague is my name. I put my foot down this week. Let's have some hearts for Kirsten, can we? Tapping is clapping, my friends. Tap, tap, tap. I didn't know that this whole thing is like a game. So we're only in D5 League, which is flipping ridiculous. So we're going to get to the best one. Who's in? I didn't realise it was like you got to do stuff to be the best. We're going to be the best. Who's in? Yes or yes? Don't be doing this D stuff. I've had enough D's in my flipping career. No more D's. We're going to be A+ star with lots of shoots and wonderfulness. Because mastery is what I'm about. Mastery. Does anybody know here? Pop a 10 in the chat if you know what self-mastery is. To master your damn self. I'm a psychotherapist, psychologist, coach. I've got 30 years experience working with all different kinds of people, from psychiatric populations to peak performance athletes and all that stuff, wonderful, all wonderful humans, and I work for you. I'm unaffiliated. I self-regulate, and I invite you to do the same, to self-regulate. Does anybody know what that means? We talk about it a lot. It's a very buzzy word on TikTok. Self-regulate. To be able to check in with yourself, how you're feeling, what's going on, and soothe yourself appropriately. So I can do that on my own without anybody helping me these days. Autism and intrusive thoughts. Could you speak about that? Of course, Selena. Welcome, my love. So when we have mod, we can pin that. Oh, pin this comment. Did I do it? Oh, I'm a big girl now. I know lots of stuff. All right. Of course I can talk about that. So, great. Do what our beautiful friend Selena has done here, is ask questions. If I miss them, I apologise in advance. The feed goes very fast. And I don't have staff today. So, we will deal with it. If and when you have a question and okay, let's go back to the start. Pop an 11 if you don't have your back sometimes when you should. So for example, pop an 11 if you might ask a question, I didn't see it, you didn't want to post it again, and you don't want, it's a bit awkward, you don't want to see somebody to see you do it again, and then, you know, maybe she doesn't want to answer and it's a bit embarrassing, or yada yada. Would you ever be that person? Pop a 13. However, I won a bingo the other day with the number 13, so I'm a fan of the number 13. However, pop a 13 in the chat if that would be you. She's missed the comment, bitch. However, I'm not going to do it again because she's missed me. Please, I invite you to not do that with me. If you ever see each other, who's in for that? Pop a 21. If you're 21 in America, you can do everything at 21. Pop a 21. Literally. If with me and with us, you get to go, that's not personal. Bobby's just not seen me, or she's on a one and didn't think or forgot it, and I'm a human and I get to have my back and say, oi, Sprague, you missed me. Here's my question. Who did it? Someone did it the other day, and I thought he was gaslighting me, not deliberately. But I'm like, wait, that comment keeps coming, and I think because he kept putting it, which was excellent. It was perfect. Who's in? Pop a 58 in the chat if you still have a lot going on within you, which is to do with what people haven't done, or where you have been missed, or where you're holding something that never got dealt with. It didn't get tied up, it didn't get addressed, and it's there. If you've ever done a brain dump, you'll know what I mean, and I highly, what's the word? What do you do? Recommend that. Brain dumps are when you get a pad and paper and you just, and you'll look at it often and go, I didn't even know I was thinking that, or that I had that in my head. In my world, I would be very sad to think that any of you may have that relationship with me in that way, which is you hold something in your mind because something wasn't finished, that I didn't address something, or you saw something of mine and it hurt you or angered you or something, and you didn't have the opportunity or take the opportunity to say to me, can I check that out? Or do you think that applies to me? Or I didn't like what you said. Or this doesn't mean that I'm going to suddenly go, oh, I'm not going to speak anymore. However, you may have a very good point, and or my point may not have been delivered well, and so on. So pop a yes me in the chat. If with me, how about we're a little bit more honest? You think? Anybody in for that? I know that it's scary, however, I recommend it. Because I can't press the point enough, that top regret of the dying thing. I'm sorry if it's windy noise. My little thingy that, whatever, it doesn't work. You in? It's not a good look, basically. When we lie. I wish I had the courage to live the life I wanted instead of the life I thought other people expected of me. Who does not want that to be something coming out of your mouth or in your head on your death day. Whoops, did it wrong. So that's why I'm here. Let me help. So where's our perfect comment that was pinned? I pinned it. Pin a notice. I already did. Why has it gone? Oh no, I was so confident. Actually, by him doing that, so much of other... Okay, Kirsten. Well, I'll need to come up with another plan then. I'm finding your comment, my love, even though I pinned it. Can I pin it again? Pin. Hooray. Autism and intrusive thoughts. Thank you. What a fantastic question. Pop a 2 in the chat if anybody's up for the answer here. What I'm mindful of here, obviously, is this has become coaching more specifically, and I think probably because you saw that I was live the other day and did that spontaneously. We'll also do Sunday Soul Cleanse as well after I've answered it. Okay, so firstly, we're all on the spectrum of everything about everything. Psychopathic behaviour, we're all on the spectrum somewhere. Selfishness. Autism, I think we're knowing because we're getting more specific and observing what is my character style, what's the makeup of us, that obviously we're starting to see markers that we haven't known before or seen before. So I said to my mum, I've got autistic, all kinds of wonderful special features, and my mum was like, no you haven't, I don't like this, blah blah blah. There's lots of different ways that we can, the comment's gone, find out what we're dealing with. Intrusive thoughts, though, I'm just looking at the link in my head. Give me a second. Yeah, I guess, and this isn't my expertise at all, autism. I'll tell you, though, what I know and what I'm thinking about as it comes to my head. The sensitivity, I'm guessing, with autism, because it's it's special features. You know, when you're an empath, autistic, any of the neurodiverse staff, we're magic people over here. I mean, pop a 5 if you understand what I mean by that. Is it's very, I don't even know the word. It's a very distinctly sensitive person. And I'm not actually a fan of the word sensitive, weirdly. I mean, you know, for whatever reason, I'm seeing like a little... I'm seeing a spider, weirdly. A little spider, and it moves its legs, you know, like that, based on smelling. I think they smell with something. I don't know. But it's like, that's the sensitivity, is the ability to feel the change. Like now, for example, this group of girls coming, that for me, the whole energy of this whole park has changed because one of them's drunk. I can feel it, and I know exactly where it could go. Put a 20 in the chat if that's... You understand what I mean by that, sensitivity-wise. Whereas, you know, my friend, she would be like, "What? I don't know. When nothing's changed. What are you talking about?" That kind of stuff. Some people get that. Some people don't. So intrusive thoughts, in terms of questioning and fear, it would make sense. Although I don't know this as a clinician because it's not my area, it would make sense to me that our thoughts would also be heightened and aware and fearful when we don't have control of our tool yet, mastery. It would make sense that the more that we can sniff and feel energies and potential, the more fear we would have, because there's more variables to fucking juggle. Is that any help? Does it make any sense? That's my thoughts. Or anybody else? I mean, I'm sure other people here would know. Does that make any sense or helpful, Selena? Let me see. How should autistics stop spiraling with intrusive thoughts when ruminating in them feels safer? That's a nice comment, although I understand it's difficult where it's coming from. Again, Selena, this is not my area. However, it is in a way, because mental health is my area. I like what you're saying there, that you've seen that. Pop a 25, you guys, if anybody relates to your question. Stop spiraling with intrusive thoughts. Feel safer. That's the nature of masochism, isn't it? Caught in the loop. Who's sharing the video? This is good stuff. We're all together. Share the video. Let's invite other people into our gang, because it's a good gang. It's like with any avoidance strategy, is it's addictive. So I think the best way I could say it today, because this is how I'm feeling today, because I feel different on different days, is how about some boundaries? The thing with any kind of obsessive behaviour at all, and that includes overthinking and analysing and so on, is there's no boundaries. I met somebody the other day, all of my family have been, overweight, it's runs in our family. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. A lack of boundaries runs in your family. We do this things to us where we tell ourselves stories that are very, very disempowering and dangerous, in my opinion. It means what's okay for you and what's not okay for you. If you want to be overweight and that's okay for you, that's fantastic. If you don't like you and you feel that you can't control things and then it's a problem for you, in which case we get to change it. So that could happen, and it's a training because we're not trained to take care of us. Does anybody know why? Pop in the chat. Do we know why? So that's what I would say, Selena, is there's a lot there for you, my love, and that, in my mind, and how I would say it is, it's a distraction technique, because you're brilliant, and if you were to really get in tune with yourself and aligned, you would know things and feel things that are very powerful. And a lot of opportunities and possibilities would open up before you, and then it would require some decision making on your part, and that's the big kahuna stuff. So being in this, catastrophic, spiraling, hellish thing is safe for a lot of people because it's familiar, and familiarity is very seductive. Make sense? I hope it's helpful. Could you give me a pulse check on the wind? Is it super duper windy? Can you hear it? Magic people. I mean, we're all magic people, and I mean that. We are. Listen, I've been doing this for 3 decades working with humans. We're magic. I mean, for reals. And there's some different ways of conceiving of life. Could you perhaps share any? These are great questions. Share any tools to bring in safety into the system? Somatics don't help. Window Kate, thank you. Can you tell me stuff if it's too loud? I don't know what you mean there, my love. Can you say it in a different way about safe tools to bring in safety? Do you say it in a different way? To me, the ultimate badass of safety is boundaries, and boundaries are there for you, not other people. And what I would recommend, if I was a millionaire, would I give it away? Probably would. That means I should give it away. Fuck. I have a program on. That's annoying. If I was a millionaire, I'd give it away. See what I mean? Little shit. I would love to tell her no, but she needs attention, so that's not going to help. I mean, this is going to be it, right? For mastery of whether or not I take this little girl and swing her around the trees or deal with it very well. So let me think. Give me a second. I'll come back to that because something's giving me info. At the moment, if you would like a deep dive with boundaries, which this little girl over here does not have, on my website, Thrive Boundaries. The best thing you could ever do in your world is that. Tools to regulate the nervous system. Oh, okay, brilliant. Thank you for that. So firstly, Devi prayer. Devi prayer, Devi prayer, Devi prayer. Who knows about Devi prayer? Pop a 5 in the chat. Please bear with this young girl who she needs. What does she need? I can't give her anything because she'll hate me for it. It's the funny thing with anger screaming for attention like this. If I gave it to her, she'd attack me. Super sad. Does anybody get that? Pop a 41 in the chat if you get that. She doesn't like kindness and compassion and attention. She doesn't trust it. So if I say, hey love, what can I do to lower your voice? She'll fucking go off like a atomic bomb. Kapow! And I'll be like, oh no, she hurt my feelings. I was being so nice. Devi prayer. Okay, so it's a 21-minute prayer to the mother, essentially. 108 names of the mother. 21 minutes. It's extraordinary, that music. I couldn't talk about magic people, magic things, and that's it. Equally, I don't know how you are with meditation. I wasn't good with it. PTSD and meditation sometimes can be a challenge. However, I really, really advise that to listen to you, to know you, to get to know your tools, make a call, basically. So whatever way you can do that. For some people it's swimming. For me it used to be running. I'd go for a run, I'd stand in the ocean, and I'd literally very consciously make a call, is wisdom. Thank you. And we all have it here. Pop a 2 in the chat if you do appreciate this is your higher self, wisdom, the universe, the descended masters, God, Buddha, Kermit the Frog, it ain't easy being green, Yoda, everything you can think of that's stable and true and real and pure and wise is there. The heart brain. The heart develops before the brain. So, I hope this is helpful so far. Pop a yes me if it is. Oh good, hooray, you were ahead of me. Thank you, my love, and please. Okay, so, should we talk about having a good life? Do you see she stopped? Because it's so sad, because I didn't give her attention. She's not shouting now. Now I'd like to give her attention, of course, which would be the right way to do it. However, I'm not getting involved. Don't do drinking no more. Do you do 121? Kate, I do, my love. Yes, you're very welcome. Reach out if you'd like to. At the top of here is Linktree with all kinds of stuff. There's an application form for that process. It's very quick and simple. Speak to you soon. I didn't bring my water and I'm annoyed about that. However, this week, how was it? Pop a 41 in the chat if you're proud of yourself this week. This has not been an easy one. When was reset day? The 26th, I think 2 Saturdays ago. You're proud of yourself for anything this week? You do anything that you're like, I survived that, thank you. On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the most, i.e. it was excellent, it was so amazing, oh my god, I'm so fortunate to be me. 5. And 1 is almost flatlining the planet. How was your week? Kept my peace under fire. Is that what you said? Well done, dad of 3. Hooray for you, my love. Mr. VIP kept it under his control. What's that called? Controlled control. That's not neurotic, that's not fear-based. I'm really a fan of that. Push myself in some ways, drop the ball on others. Hello, Kirsten, me too, my love. Does anybody remember, or did you have a word of the week? This week, was there a word of the week for you? Or a mantra that you had for you? Mine was completion. Hi, Dr. George. Did you have a word? And I've never done this before. If we were to... no, that doesn't work yet. Yes, it does. If we were to backward prescribe a word, to call it what it is now, what would your word of the week be now? If you were to go, okay, that's what it is. What would I say? Scream. That would be my word for whatever reason. I was not consistent. If we're consistent, we get it. If we're persistent, we keep it. I was not consistent. The thing with it is, through self-reflection, VIP Kirsten, you see that, right? So then you have something that you can do about it. Is you know that it doesn't work because it wasn't consistent. That's fantastic. That's self-reflection for you. No other brand, welcome. Does anybody have a word of the week now? If you look back and go, that's what that was that week so far, because we've still got bits left on Sunday. What would your word of the week be if you had to prescribe it? Anything? What's the heart? Oh yeah, you can heart me something or other. Can you do it, you guys? There's a send a heart me. People get heart me's. I want one. We get to have them. I don't know why, what it's for. However, I like them. So tapping and clapping for a start, and then I think you get a heart at the top of the screen. I don't know if it costs money though. I've been doing it and it hasn't cost me money. However, I have a little pot of money in my TikTok thing, so it might be taking some. I haven't been paying attention. So what if rebirth? Wow, that's a great word. Flipping hell. Good for you, my love. Rebirth, practice. These are great words. Ooh, I've got a fan club as well. Hooray, welcome to the fan club. Focused and calm. Focused and that's like ninja stuff. Shall we call you Bond, Tracy? The name is Tracy Bond. Tracy Bond, that's a good name. What is your name? Lorraine. Okay, so was there a time this week, if we pay a bit of attention to you, did you notice that she's gone and all of her drunk friends are gone? Did you notice that? That could have been anything from that calm, peaceful, focused Tracy Bond approach to an almighty fight. I've seen it all with cops and sectioning and arrests and who's with me? Pop a 2 in the chat if you're with me, that anything can happen depending on how we respond to the energies that are there. What the energies do is this kind of zzz, and they've gone somewhere else now. We have a choice and we're very powerful. And to answer my own question from earlier, the reason this stuff is happening, i.e. the reason we question our worth so much, is because there are certain kinds of people who do really appreciate how valuable you are as an individual, and they're scared in case you find out. Pop a 4 if you get that. There are big companies making a lot of bucks because they know that you don't think you're all that. Do you know that? Sadistic little twats. Who's going to win this one? Is it going to be us? Pop VIP in the chat if you think. Yes, it will be us, actually, thank you. We will be top of the leaderboard and we will have a good life and we'll be healthy, and you will be sitting in the corner thinking about what you've done. And maybe when you've done sufficient post-mortem on your bullshit, maybe you'll start to feel good because you've held your hands up and said something about it and done better. Maybe you can join us in our VIP club. Who would like that? Who would like it? Do you feel it would do your heart good if more people did the right thing by you? Probably yes me if you agree. More people had your back because they were integrous, courageous, true, lovely people. If everybody was fucking Snow White, I mean, wouldn't that be nice? In the absence of it, we get to do that. Proper yes me, if you're into that, is we get to do it. It'd be lovely if people were less fearful, which is all it is. Fear drives all the craziness. That's fear. That little girl, believe me, oh, do I know. With all of her, let me check she's not listening because she would kick off if she heard me say it. Wouldn't be helpful. That little girl, pop a 22 in the chat if you know what I mean when I say this. That girl shouting. I'm assuming you could hear her, could you? Pop an 8 if you were here and you could hear her. Do you know that she was the most scared person of that group? And yet she was the ringleader. Does anybody know that? Petrified. particularly considering I'm holding a camera and I'm unintimidated by you. That's very scary to a woman like that. We get to send love and light, is my point. When you see behaviours that feel aggressive and so on, it's the shadow to your, I'm not going to ask my question again because I don't want to seem odd or something. The opposite. We're all in fear, is the point. We just do different stuff. This week, let's really pay attention to you. Pop a yes or a 1 in the chat if, well, no, let's not do that. Let's be together and do it this way. Could there have been anywhere this week, 1 in the chat, where you overlooked you? Where you put others first in such a way that actually you got missed? And if that kind of stuff stacks and snowballs, you're in danger. Do you know what I mean by that? Shall we think of an example? Well, it goes this way in my mind is if you take care of someone else, for example, and you're doing the tea and you're doing the food, pop a 5 if you can see how this happens. You're doing the food and you're propping somebody else up in some kind of way. Mother, father, thank you for your service. And, you know, you're hungry or you're thirsty or you need a pee or you'd like a shower or you'd really like to have a sit down and have a bath or the blah, blah, blah. And you don't because you're about them, about them, about them. And just over time you get a little bit snappy. Pop a 5 if this applies to you at all. A little bit snappy, resentful. Then, oh no, they don't, you know, I've got to look at this. And you make excuses for why the other person, you know, you've got to be so lovely. So then you start stacking more. It's like a, what is that? What's an animal that puffs itself up? Pufferfish. So, but it would be an animal that explodes, basically. You just get more and more. And at some point, you will blow. Whether that's a cancer or fibro or something, you'll get sick. It will go large. And then ultimately, you'll end up being the one that, unfortunately, the people pleaser kind of stuff behaviour, somebody will be taking care of you and resenting it. If we don't shove it down. There we go, Lola. Thank you, my love. Pop lots of hearts. Give lots of hearts if this is what you're doing. I used to do the same thing. And in fact, my sister Maureen, my sister was a social worker. She's dead now. She was amazing. Amazing woman. She lent on a pen. So she was the give to everyone else person. Meanwhile, sorry Maureen, drinking a litre bottle of vodka every day. Functional alcoholic. People pleasing, worthiness issues. Me the same. However, she died. I'm still here. She lent on a biro. Does anybody know what a biro is? Pen. She lent on it at work and it paralysed her. Which side was it? It paralysed the masculine or feminine? I can't remember which. Paralysed the masculine. So she lent on her right side. On a fucking pen. Paralysed her left side. So she had to have people take her to the toilet for it. It was 18 months and more. The masculine. So she was top heavy for the masculine. Papa, yes, me, if this is you. Men and women, obviously. Is, I'll do it, and you're a striving ahead survival person. So that's what she was. Overgive. And I said, love, that's what it's about, my love, is you don't receive, so it's forced to, oh, whatever, Pop, can you get me Bacardi? Life will find a way of plonking you on your little tush, and then you're going to have to receive. Do you want to receive on your terms or on the terms that you're kicking and screaming and resenting and feeling less than? I'm very convinced that things like, is this going to be too much? No. If it's too much, it's too much. Things that incapacitate us are there, in my opinion, as a gift. There's a message in it. I don't know if you're with me on that one. I'm with me. I lost myself to overgiving. There we go, dad of 3. Baby nice, welcome, welcome. So what I'm about fundamentally is you take care of you, my love. Nobody else is coming to do it. And that's the toughest bit. And of course, it's kind of tough as well, in my opinion, is the more you start taking care of you, where your boundaries are good, where you listen to you, where you're lovely to you, then you attract the people who are like, oh, wow. And they resonate because we attract what we are, who we are. We don't get what we want. We attract this back from someone else. If we're nice and, treading on our own boundaries that obviously we have none, then we're going to attract people who do that. Or people who lecture us about not doing it, meanwhile doing it themselves, so they're not helpful. So it's kind of tough sometimes. Real faith is doing things without any evidence. And then the evidence will come and you'll be like, it's so easy when you know how. I used to have a client, love this dude. He was a deadlifter, tough guy basically. He was bulimic. He used to self-harm. Saw him when I worked in London, and he was an outpatient. However, it was chronic. I remember one day he brought in his blades, and they were 2 bags full of blades. And he said, I don't understand the point why we're talking about my girlfriend. So his girlfriend was really abusive and gaslighting him and so on. And I said, because you're gaslighting of yourself, you're attracting someone back who's doing that, and you've got no boundaries with either of you. I don't know why it matters, because he didn't want to challenge it, what she was doing. He just wanted it all to go away. So sometime later he came back. They split up. Unfortunately, she wouldn't look at her part, and he couldn't move forward with it because he couldn't now unknow what he knew. Pop a 30 in the chat. Put the 30 in the chat. If you feel in a stage now in life where there are certain things that you're wise to, or you understand, or you're interested in about humanity and you being healthy and enjoying life, that you can't now go back to how it was because you can't unknow what you know now. It's okay, it is a psychic reading in many ways. I'm actually a meditative person in all kinds of different ways. We all are, my love. However, I hope you find a good one. Deborah is good from, where is she? Canada. She's amazing. If you look at Deborah, I love her. And in fact, my book of the week recommendation is Signs. S-I-G-N-S. Signs. That's excellent. So, be careful, I suppose. He came back in and said, I understand exactly why it was important that I was able to speak to others in the way that I would like to be spoken to. And the way that he was being with him, he was manifesting outside because he was attacking him, he was getting attacked from outside, basically. Do you know how I could stop over-explaining? Haha, that's a brilliant one. Thanks to similar and avoidant, yeah. Over-explaining is, yeah, my love. Pop a 4 in the chat, you guys, if that resonates with you. Got such a lovely number of people coming. Hooray, this is changing stuff. Firstly, with anything, I heard Stephen Bartlett say this on Diary of a CEO, and I keep quoting him, and sometimes I'm quoting him and haven't said it was once. So I'd like to keep attributing it to him. The fast way to anything is the slow way, he said, because the slow way is the only way. So what I would advise there, it is a brilliant question, is more than 50% of the greatness of this is you noticing when you've done stuff that you don't want to do. Pop a 1 if you get me on this. So noticing it is half the whole thing. To be able to go, and then catching yourself, and it might be, depends on your audience, if it's people who are trustworthy. It might be you say, I'm over explaining there, so that you're conscious of yourself in the moment. The other is the more aware you are of it, or it might be actually to watch yourself on camera. I mean, I'm not sure what you do for your work. However, what I'd say is be very careful, because every time you do that, it's like fishing for psychopaths, basically. Every time you do that is, oh, and this and that and the other, and oh, I wanted to tell you, that's all call signs to very unwell people. You're sending out a signal of, I'm vulnerable, come get me. Does that make sense? Number 3, if that makes sense, is the over-explain, because what you're saying is, I don't feel worthy of the conversation. And it's deep and it's often not so conscious. So I'm going to give you lots of reasons why it's important, and someone's, I can smell a victim, where are they? And that's how this goes down. Does anybody get me? That little girl would have been one of them. If she could hear me over it, she would be right here for attack. Oh, she'd love it. In fact, we could role play it. I don't think that's ethical to experiment on the public, is it? No, the whole reason why I've got in trouble is because I've said we cannot and will not experiment on the public, so I'm not going to do it. Perhaps I'll get a group of students and we can do some role plays on this stuff. So what I'd say is, my love, notice. With any behaviours, any of us, we get to notice. I noticed the other day, what is it that I do? You know, I had never noticed that I do that quite a bit. It's a bit of a tick. You know, it's like, no, you don't. How do I know you know? I don't know you know. Some things I can know. There's things like that. So if you think of it, you guys, what is it that you know that you do that actually is a no for you? Like our beautiful friend. What do you do? A lot of people preempt, and it's dangerous. I know it's silly, but you're going to think I'm but. Sorry to waste your time, but. And it's all that. And you've just put all of this chat in someone's head that they weren't necessarily thinking. That you've trained someone to look at you as less than. And they will. People will do what we tell them to do. How about oversharing? Oh, Sarah, that's a fantastic one. Please keep saying if I miss your comments. So Sarah, what I'd love to do, my love, is invite you to be a VIP here, because we've got the animal wheel for you, which will nail that. It's the best of all training I've ever had. So I don't even know how many years into training I am now. Every day, every year, I'm in a training of something. That model, I don't know about VIPs here, is the best damn model I have ever come across in psychology. And there's a reason, of course, why they use it for the elites. They train the CIA, FBI, the British ones as well, MI5, with this model, because it's so damn excellent. But my head is spinning around the place on it. So firstly, become a VIP. You can watch that video I've done for you. If you don't want to do that, then you might want to look out the book Rapport, R-A-P-P-O-R-T, who are the Allisons who invented the animal wheel, and read their book, which is equally excellent. Oversharing, bad monkey, they call it. Bad monkey! It's attention stuff again, right? We're always, all of us, we're doing things for attention. It's what makes me laugh. When I used to work in psychiatric facilities, the staff, would say things like, oh, they're attention seeking. And it would be everything I could do to not laugh. So I'd be like, poker face it, poker face it. Because we're humans. Humans seek attention. It's like, give me a break, love. You're wasting our precious moments of our lives talking bullshit. We attention seek. Of course we do. The oversharing, I think, can be, you can't contain how much is going on in your head and how much is going on in your body. You're in a lot of activation. There's a lot going on in your life. You're not able to self-soothe right now because you're full up. So it comes out. It's leakage. It's the same with crying when we can't hold it, and we shouldn't. However, it's controlled execution kind of stuff is appropriate. And, you know, getting angry and screaming loud and doing punching, and it's leakage. We're not self-soothing, so it's coming out in ways that we're actually not consciously in much control of at all. That little girl screaming like she was doing, leakage. Does that make sense? So, good God, look at all these. What do we do with the questions then? Hang on. Can avoidance ever fix their bad behaviour? If they want to, or if you have leverage on them, yes. Getting leverage is quite an interesting one. Of course they can. They can do what they want to do. However, there might be a lot of benefits why they don't, particularly if you've got no boundaries and they're getting stuff from you. Then why would they change? Because you're making it, you're helping them. I know you think I'm away with the fairies, but there we go. Perfect, Tracy. That is dangerterritory.com. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'll say this. Thank you, Marcel. I appreciate that. I'll say this and then we'll talk about next week. What was it? What was I going to say? Oh yeah, get ready. Right, brace yourselves. I say this because I care, right? Pop an 82 in the chat if you know that I talk straight because I give a shit. Yes or yes? Well, I do. If we don't know each other, then I do. Firstly, this is the last one of these. So next Sunday and all Sundays, this will be VIP subscriber only, lives and coaching. Sunday Soul Cleanse. Because it's important that I'm respectful there to all of us, including myself. So you're very welcome to join. It's a nominal fee. You may have heard this before, which is when psychologists and investigators have interviewed people who do terrible crimes on other people, crimes on humanity, essentially. Terrible crimes towards people. There's a question that they're asked. And it is, how do you choose your victims? Do we know the answer? I would love for you to take it in and hold it close to your heart and be very careful with yourself moving forward. Who's up for that? Pop a 7 in the chat if you're up for this. Is hearing this, catching it and holding it as something to help you be safe for the rest of your days. And I could just cry. Good. Take it. And maybe, this is an excellent, okay, this is mastery stuff. Who wants mastery stuff on change? Pop a 2 if you do. Get yourself a talisman as a reminder of the 7. Of the yes, I'm going to take it and hold it close. A talisman would be whatever you want. You could see, you know, something. Tiger's Eye might be great, actually, that one. The brown and protection from bullshit. That's a very good stone. A talisman, a marker of a threshold of change. So whenever you do something, in my opinion, mark it. So it might be a plant, it might be something for the house, something you can look at and go, that was a change threshold. There. 7, what they say, psychopaths, basically. And by the way, just so we're clear, psychopaths aren't murdering, chop you up people. There's psychopaths everywhere. Do we know this? Pop a yes if we know this. Everywhere. I can smell them. It's fantastic. Everywhere. In fact, it's a prerequisite to be a psychopath in some businesses because they don't care. No remorse. So if you're an empath, toxic empath, meaning you're still in the place of I give too much and I think I'm doing well by solving your problems and ignoring mine, but silently punishing you because you take too much and I don't want to talk straight about it, so I'm just going to punish you without letting you know through my passive aggression and all of the things, that's toxicity. What they say is we can feel they will not fight back. How gross is that? We choose our victims because what psychopaths say is we like it because the behaviour of humans globally is so gross. it's so nearly to psychopathic stuff, we're fading into the background even more because people are walking on by, because people don't have the courage and integrity to say, hang on a minute, and call things out in a talk straight way, not in a you're doing it wrong way. Psychopaths, they don't know there are other psychopaths for a start. However, what they will say individually is, I love it, because the more immoral the world gets, the less likely anybody's going to see me, because I blend right in. So what these people will say is, I choose my victims because I can feel they won't fight back. I can see from their body language, and I can because I'm a psychologist. They can because they're a predator. It's different. I'm obviously out here looking to help you, and they're out there looking to find you. Take that close to your heart. Pop a 7 again in the chat if you get it. I'm saying this because you get to be vigilant. If you're a good person, then you get to protect yourself all the more, because some people will look to hurt you, punish you, kill you, because they haven't had good people in their lives. So when they see them, they want to kill them, like that little girl. If I'd have done good mummy to her, she'd have attacked me. If I didn't do good mummy stuff to her, she'd shut up. You get me? Does that make sense? People who hurt other people, they're very wounded people, obviously. They've not had good, warm, tender, kind, sensitive people around them, so they hate you because you should have been there, basically. So they'll punish you. It's horrible, and I'm really sorry about it. However, it's a very good reason why you should become a VIP here or join a program, and certainly learn boundaries. Boundaries are not for other people. Boundaries are there for you. If you say, I'm going to go to bed half an hour early this week, and you don't have boundaries or self-respect, and it's okay. Normalizing it's okay, because we're not taught boundaries, because if we had them, we would be very dangerous, and a lot of companies would go out of business. So we get to be kind, and 1% shift each day in the projection, why not, in the direction that we'd like to go. Make sense? So, I'm mindful of time. We're here for the last 4 minutes. Please do join us. It would be lovely. You're very welcome to be. And there's a lot of videos and good stuff in VIP there for you. Subscription only. What is your word of the week for next week? Intention. If we're intentional about the week, even if, and particularly if, something's coming up this week that you're nervous about or you're worried about, it's going to happen the way it's supposed to. So what I would recommend is we let go of the, what's the word? Any attachment. I know it's like, oh, I'm not fucking Yoda. Yes, you are. Let go of the attachment to the outcome. And have a look at what you're getting from being in fear and distraction, because there'll be an issue or a relationship, something that is being avoided whilst you're neurotically worrying about what someone's going to say at work or whatever. Is there's actually something close to home that's really important that gets to be addressed if you let go of that. And that's why we're all caught up in it. But yes, if you get what I mean. Even if there's scary stuff coming up this week, and particularly if there is, what is your word of the week? If you're intentional about it, if you're able to go, do you know what, I'm a good person. Pop a 5 in the chat if you're a good person. You go, I'm a good person. I'm going into a new week, and there are very, very wounded, desperately wounded people on planet Earth walking around me. A lot of them. And some of them are so desperately wounded that they might see someone like me who's such a good person that they'll attack me. You want to have trained with the guy I trained with for fighting. That was flipping scary to be told this stuff. What's your word of the week that's about vigilance and self-care and love? Putting love into the planet. Not, oh my God, now everybody's out to get me thing. Because then, of course, you're also a target. Because either way, you're in fear. If your head's down like this and you're like, I'm terrible and nobody's going to like me in my life and that, It is a fear response. However, it's quite a shut down one. Whereas this is also a fear response. It's the same signal to the same kind of character. If we're able to have empathy, to go, there are some very wounded people on this earth. They're not your enemy. They're your brother or sister. Truly. And the best way you can serve you and anybody who's not quite there yet with their own tools is to get very intentional about how you will live your life and how you will not live your life. And when you fuck it up, like me, you ego stroke. Okay, and Kirsten, you did it, my love, is I wasn't consistently. So then we notice. You with me? I'll try my best. Try is a swear word, Tracy. Will you do it or not do it, my love? If you're going to do your best is fantastic. Your best is perfect. What I would say is, careful not to undermine yourself by saying, I'll try. I don't think, from what I know of you, you will try. You will do it to the best of your ability then, and then you'll reflect and learn. Here we go again. They're doing the countdown stuff. So last week they gave me a puzzle, and the week before, and you have to, I don't know if, has anybody seen this ridiculous thing that they do? Pop a 5 if you've seen it. So they count you down. I don't know why. TikTok counts you down. So they put this thing and it's got a hole in it, and you have to, literally just now, you have to drag this little piece of the puzzle in and put it there, and then I can see you again because it shuts you off. So all the other weeks I've been like, I don't want to read, so I wouldn't read it because it was in the way. It took me 2 seconds to go, put that in there. So I don't know why it kicks me off, but it does. However, it does. So send me a heart me. Join us by all means in VIP and tell us your word of the week. And equally, pop anything in the chat before we go. Anything resonate, anything that you liked particularly, anything you're taking from this that's particularly useful. Gratitude. That's nice. Strength. What are your words of the week? Let's see. That you get to go into the world knowing some people are hurting with your special word and your special thing and your special everything. Walk with better posture. That could save your life. No joke. Really. Do you diagnose ADHD? I don't, my love. I'm not specialised in neurodiversity and so on. However, there are some very good people. Obviously, there's a lot of online things you can do. I don't know of a specialist personally, do I? ADHD. I'm sorry. Does anybody else know of someone or an organisation? I'll find out an organisation and investigate. Sorry, my love. That's one I don't know of. If anybody here could help, please, before we go, that would be great. Anybody that would, or even there must be an online, what's it called? Paid, it will be paid, assessment. Ooh, thank you for subscribing. That's fantastic. Leakage really makes me think, yeah. Let's have some empathy. Who's up for that? Before we go, how about an agreement for empathy for other people? That's not to excuse them. It's to have some heart for people who are doing life their way. Often shut down and totally unconscious about it. I'm trying's a swear word, Stacey, in my world, to sort my posture so bad now, I notice. Okay, how about we change that around just before we go? Stacey, I'm aware until now my posture has been bad. My posture is getting really good because I'm watching for it and sit up straight. And when you notice that it isn't, is you ego straight. Wow, good for me. I noticed again. I'm sitting up. Yes or yes? Okay, folks, I think they're going to kick me off. I feel like I'm getting told off. I used my GP and right to choose and selected someone I met through perinatal. Best decision ever. There we go. Yasmin. Beautiful. Let's hope that happens with the rest of you. Go forth and conquer, my loves. I'll see you next Sunday. VIPs. Big love.